Hello guys, welcome back to Zaf Academy. Today we shall be discussing about one important topic that is multiplicity. Okay, so let's begin that thing by taking one example of a function that is given here. Now, basically, when we talk about a function, we can say that the function has the zeros at x is equal to -1, x is equal to 2, and x is equal to 4. Okay, and multiplicity basically refers to the fact that the number of times that particular factor is appearing. And as you can see here that x plus 1 is having a power of 1, x minus 2 is also having a power of 1, and same is the case with the x minus 4. So basically you can refer the term multiplicity with the powers carried by the factors here. Okay. So in this case, the current graph is having the multiplicity of 1. Okay, and how that thing is represented or can be read from the graph which is plotted here. So let's try to create a table of values here, and based on it, the graph which can be plot is this. Okay, and you just need to pay attention to the zeros, which are x is equal to -1, 2, and 4. Okay, we shall be discussing about their nature in detail after comparing it with the other functions graph. Okay, so let's take the other function here and let's try to understand that this function also has the 0 at x is equal to 1 and x is equal to 4. But remember one thing, that here the function x minus 1, sorry, the factor x minus 1 is appearing twice because it has the power of 2, right? So we can say that basically here the multiplicity is equal to 2. That is the even multiplicity. Okay. And once again, we shall be plotting the values here, which will lead us to get a graph something like this. And of course, pay attention to the zeros, which I'm highlighting it here. And of course, you'll be able to figure it out, the difference between the even multiplicity and the odd multiplicity, that how we are able to identify it just at by looking the graph. Okay. So as you can see here, I said in the very beginning that multiplicity is basically resembling to reading the powers of the given factors. Like here, x minus 1 whole square is basically appearing twice. So the multiplicity is even. Okay. So we can say in one word that basically here in this case, the graph will be barely touching that value and it will be bouncing off the surface once again. It will not cross the graph from here. Okay, so this is how you are able to identify that the given function or a given equation is having the multiplicity odd or even. Because for the even multiplicities, let's say for example, like if the number of times your factor occurs is twice, 4 times, or 6 times, basically that is an even number and that is always going to stay positive. So of course the graph will never cross the x-axis. X-axis is basically the line where we will be getting the zeros of the given function, right? And because the 0 is appearing 2 times here, x is equal to 1 is appearing 2 times here, even number. So that will lead to the graph just bounce off the surface, just touching the surface and going once again in the same direction from where it was coming. But in the case where the 0 is an odd number, that is x is equal to 4. In that case, the graph will pass through that value and it will change its direction, which indicates that the multiplicity is odd here. Okay. Same way you can compare it with the previous, the first equation that we had written, x plus 1, x minus 2, x minus 4, where your graph was basically changing its orientation, its nature at every point where it was reaching the 0. Let's say that it was in the third quadrant here, and after reaching the point x is equal to -1, it actually changed its way. It came here in the second quadrant, and again when it reached x is equal to 2, the other 0, it once again changed its route from first to the fourth quadrant. So basically this kind of graph where the graph basically passes through that value and doesn't bounces off indicates that the given function has an odd multiplicity at that particular point. But when we talk about the graph which are just bouncing off the surfaces, that indicates that the graph is having the even multiplicity. And this is basically about reading the graph and getting to know that what is the multiplicity of the graph at that specific zero. And if we want to check that thing by just reading the equation or the function, we can say that the factors with the even powers indicate that the multiplicity is even, and with the odd powers like this, it indicates that the multiplicity is odd. We can just write it down here by saying that at x is equal to 1, in this case, in the case of first graph, the multiplicity is 2, that is even. And at x is equal to 4, the multiplicity is 1, that is odd. This 2 and 1 are basically derived as the powers here. As you can see here, that x minus 1 is having the power value of 2. That indicates that the multiplicity is 2. Okay. Similarly, if we try to understand that fact by taking this graph into consideration, the graph number 2, you can say that the graph is having multiplicity is equal to 1 and it is odd at all the zero values. X is equal to minus 1, 2, and 4. So this is how we can understand and read and get to know that what the multiplicity is by reading the function or by reading the graph. So that was it today, guys, for understanding the multiplicity concept. And the next topic will be about asymptotes that we shall be discussing in the next tutorial. Till then, stay tuned. All the best with the learning. And please do not forget to subscribe to our channel if you like this video. Thank you very much.